The air under the great eucalyptus trees is thick with the scent of sun-baked resin and dust. Terrake, his skin a roadmap of scars and insect bites, moves with a silence that is a form of prayer. He is hunting wallaby, a creature of habit in predictable fear. He understands its world. He knows the paths it takes, the wind that carries his scent, the way a snapped twig can erase an hour of patient stalking. This is the familiar rhythm of prehistoric life, a violent but comprehensible dance between hunger and survival that has guided his human ancestors for 1,000 generations. The world has rules. Stone falls, water flows, and predators hunt on the ground. He pauses, one foot hovering over a bed of dry leaves. The bush has gone silent, not the sudden, electric silence that signals a snake, but a deep, watchful stillness. The kookaburras that laugh the sun into the sky are quiet. Terrakea's hand tightens on his fire-minus hardened spear. His eyes scan the low scrub, the shadowy spaces between the iron-bark trees. He is a master of this domain, one of the sharpest hunters among his clan of early humans. He sees nothing out of place. No tawny hide, no slick of an ear. The threat, when it comes, is not a scent on the wind or a rustle in the grass. It is a sudden, impossible weight from above. A blur of brindled fur and bone-minus crushing power. There is a single, deathful cough, the sound of air forced from lungs, and the sickening crack of a snapping collarbone. Then, silence returns. Terrake is gone. The only evidence of his existence is his spear, half-minus buried in the red dirt, and a single, dark smear of blood on the pale bark of a ghost gum tree. Back at the camp, his absence is a growing hollow in the heart of the clan, as the sky bleeds from orange to purple. The others return in pairs and small groups, their hands empty or clutching small lizards and tubers. Terrake, who always returns, does not. The fear that comes with the dark is an ancient one, but this feels different. Bor, the clan's most seasoned tracker, takes to others and follows Terrakea's trail, their torches casting frantic, dancing shadows. They find the spear easily, then the blood. The tracks are a confusing mess of scuffs and drag marks leading to the base of a colossal eucalyptus. And then, they stop. The trail vanishes into thin air. Bo looks at the others, his face a mask of confusion. One of the younger hunters, his heart pounding, forces himself to look up. His torchlight catches something pale wedged in a high fork of the branches, 30 feet above the ground. It is Terrake, or what is left of him. This is the work of a nightmare, an ambushed predator from a world they do not know. The discovery shatters their reality. This is not the work of any beast they know. This is a demon. For the first time, these apex hunters realize they are not alone at the top of the food chain. The apex of the Pleistocene megafauna is looking down on them. A new law governs their existence. Never look down. The world has been inverted. The familiar ground, once a tapestry of tracks and trails to be read, is now a place of vulnerability. The sky, once a distant, unknowable canvas, is now the source of immediate and brutal death. This is a turning point in their hominid history. Terror is a physical presence in the camp. It stifles the children's games and silences the evening stories. For 3 days, no one ventures beyond the mouth of their rock shelter. Hunger, a familiar ache, begins to sharpen into a real threat, gnawing at their resolve. The brutal reality is a choice between two kinds of death. The slow, hollow death of starvation in the cave, or the swift, violent one from the trees. The paralysis is broken by a woman named Lyra. She watches her small son chewing on a strip of dried, leathery hide, his eyes wide with a hunger she cannot appease. The hard choice crystallizes in that moment. She rises and picks up her digging stick. Her movement shames and inspires the others. Bo, his face grim, knows they cannot all go. They cannot all watch the trees. The clan's collective mind, owned by generations of cooperative problem-minded solving, begins to work. This is the essence of cognitive adaptability, the core of their survival skills. An idea forms, not in a single mine, but in the shared space of their desperation. They will not be helpless prey. They will use their wits. They appoint two of the younger, sharp miners side men as the first Sky Watchers. It is an act of profound community trust, a specialization born of terror. These men will not hunt or gather. Their sole purpose is to stand on the high rocks at the edge of the clearing and watch the canopy. Their lives forfeit for the sake of the others. This altruism is the glue that holds their small society together. Below them, another group puts the second part of their plan into motion. Lara and the other gatherers move out, but they do not go alone. They carry smoldering branches from the fire. They feed the embers with damp leaves, creating a thick, acrid smoke that coils up into the eucalyptus branches, an ephemeral scream between them and the demon. It stings their eyes and rasps in their throats, but it obscures the view from above. Their threat assessment has identified a weakness. The predator hunts by sight. They are blinding it. It is a flicker of humanity's greatest weapon, the ability to change the rules of the fight. They move in this bubble of smoke, their necks craned, their ears straining for any sound that is not the crackle of their own fires. The primal fear has not vanished, but it has been harnessed. It is now fuel for a desperate, brilliant strategy. They have learned to look up, and in doing so, have taken the first step toward fighting back. The smoke screen buys them time, but not victory. It allows them to gather roots and grubs, enough to blunt the edge of starvation. But the demon remains. They hear it at night, a deep, soaring growl that seems to come from the stars themselves, a chilling reminder of its presence. They find its tracks now, for mine is stout and powerful, and the terrible claw marks its claws into the tree bark as it climbs. They have given their fear a name. Their Loco Leo Conrifix, a name spoken in whispers around the fire. This is a crucial step in their evolution documentary. To name a thing is to begin to understand it, to drag it from the realm of supernatural horror into the world of flesh and blood, to make it something that can, perhaps, be killed. The intelligence of the clan now focuses on a single, audacious goal, bringing the fight to the ground. Beyond the hunters spend days observing. They see where the beast prefers to descend, the game trails it crosses. They find a narrow corridor between two massive rock formations, a natural funnel. This is where they will set their trap. The plan is a masterpiece of primitive technology and psychological warfare. They begin by digging, using sharpened sticks in their bare hands. They excavate a shallow pit in the center of the corridor. They line it with sharpened stakes, hardened in the fire and angled upwards. Then, they cover the pit with a fragile lattice of branches and leaves, a treacherous illusion of solid ground. This is an act of foresight, a projection of will into the future. They are not just reacting. They are shaping the battlefield. This is the very core of human evolution. The bait is the hardest choice of all. They take one of the precious few wallabies they managed to kill and gut it, letting its scent bleed into the hot air. They drag the carcass through the funnel, over the hidden pit, and leave it tethered to a tree on the far side. The trap is set. That night, the entire clan works as one. They build two large bonfires at the mouth of the rocky corridor, leaving the baited trap in the darkness between. As dusk settles, beyond three others, their bodies streaked with mud and ash for camouflage, take up positions behind the rocks, their spears tipped with freshly knapped flint from their toolkit of ancient tools. They are no longer prey. They are orchestrators. The wait is an eternity. Hours pass. Then, a shadow detaches itself from the canopy. It lands with a soft thud. A creature of muscle and death. It scents the bait. It moves forward, confident in its arboreal supremacy, utterly unaware that the small, soft creatures it has been terrorizing have rewritten the rules of the world, become a chronicler with us. Bear witness to this moment, a testament to the fact that the greatest to love these ancient humans was never stone, but the shared landscape of the mind. The lilac lay takes another step, and the ground gives way. The guttural shriek of the trapped beast is a sound of profane surprise, the cry of a god that has just learned it can bleed. The spears of the hunters find their mark in the flickering firelight, a victory born not of strength, but of intellect and unity. The death of the sky minus demon marks more than the end of a hunt. It is the dawn of a new confidence. This clan of Homo sapiens, standing on the edge of a continent that was itself a lost world, proved that no monster is invincible, no rule of nature is absolute. They learned that the most terrifying shadows can be dragged into the light and confronted. Their story is a powerful chapter in the grand narrative of anthropology, demonstrating how our ancestors survived not by being the strongest or the fastest, but by being the most adaptable, the most cooperative. They faced the awe and terror of the unknown and answered it with strategy, that instinct, that spark of collaborative genius that turned terror into a tactic, is their greatest legacy. It is the same fire we draw upon today when we face the monsters of our own age, the ones that hunt from the unexpected heights of our own complex world. The chronicle is never finished. It is only passed on. Now consider the shadows in your own sky. What watches you from above?